Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, let's see one of the most commonly asked interview questions recently, finding sum of all digits. Okay, so given a number, okay, so you have to calculate the sum of all digits. So here in this example, if you see, I've given a number like 2351. So basically, I have to identify the sum of all digits like 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1 equal to 11. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this problem using both Python and Java. So I will start with Python first, and there are many approaches in how you can get this solved. But first approach is I'm gonna convert this into a string and then find a sum. Okay, let's see how we can do this. So first I will declare a method, define a method, say sum of all digits. So I'm gonna pass the and then so I will define, I will initialize some value. Okay, so basically I'm trying to store the value here inside sum, and finally, so consider I'm gonna define my value of n. So basically my digits is gonna be say 2302. Okay, so for now let me have this. Finally I'm planning to print the sum of all digits. Okay, so I'm gonna print value n. Now let's come to the logic. So first approach is I will try to convert this integer value into string so that I can use a for loop to loop through each and every digits in the value n. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna for in I'm gonna use a for loop for in string of n. So I'm gonna convert this value n into a string. So now I can easily iterate through each and every items in this string. And finally I have initialized the value sum, right? So sum equal to, so I'm gonna use sum plus I. So value should be I, but problem is you cannot perform an addition operation on a string, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert this back to integer, and finally I will return the sum. Okay, so this, let's run and see what happens. um, yeah, if you see now value is 7. So 2 plus 3 plus 0 plus 2 is equal to 7. Now let's try to change the number 239 to 16. Okay, so this is one of the easiest way how you can calculate sum of all digits. So if I want to explain this in detail, I'm going to place a debug pointer over here. So what happens is yeah, now my initially my value of sum is 0. Now let's try to go into the loop. So my first item that will be taken is during my first iteration value 2 will be taken. So what happens here is 2. So initially my value will be sum will be 0. So 0 plus 2 will be 2. So that's the result after my first iteration. So next what happens is now my value of sum is 2. So sum 2 plus 3 equal to 5. And in my next iteration my value of sum becomes 5. So 5 plus 9 equal to 14. In my next iteration sum becomes 14 plus 2 equal to 16. So this is uh, how my for loop works. So this is one of the easiest method how you can calculate the sum of all digits. Okay, now let's try a different approach. Okay, basically if I'm an interviewer, I'm not looking for this very basic approach. I'm trying to apply another easiest method. Okay, let's try another method. So basically, another method what we can apply is using a modulo operation. So for example, if we have 2392 value, so if we apply modulus value of 10, what happens is the the remainder will be 2 in the first iteration. So the remaining value will be 239. Now modulus of 239 will be, it will give us a remainder 9, and next value will be 23. 23 modulo of sorry, it should be 23 modulo of 10 equal to value will be 3, and in my final my value will be 0. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this using this modulo operation. Let's see how we can get the sum of all digits. So I will, okay, as usual I'm gonna initialize my sum value, sum equal to 0, and my value of n will be say 2 3 5 4. Okay, and finally I'm gonna print sum of all digits of n. Okay, so this is, now let's jump onto the logic. So I'm gonna calculate the modulo, right? So I'm gonna calculate the modulo x equal to n modulo n. Okay, so this will give me the remainders. So I'm gonna sum the remainders. So sum equal to sum plus x. Okay, so now I have added all the remainders. So it will add all the remainders that will come as part of the modulo operation. Okay, so first it will take 4, next it will take 5, next it will take 3, and finally it will take 2. And one more addition step what you have to actually do is you n equal to n modulo n divided by n. So this particular operation you have to use it for the final digit. Okay, so the final part you are only calculating the uh, remainders. Okay, but your actual you have to calculate the quotient value also, right? So for example 2 3 5 4, now you perform a modulo here. Now you perform a modulo of 10. Now the value remainder will be 4, but you want to carry forward the remainder sorry, the quotient 2 3 5 into your next iteration, next step, right? So how is this quotient carried to the next operation is using this particular line. So I'm gonna perform n double slash 10 here. Double slash is a specific operator in Python, which it will round you to the nearest whole number. So this is one of the step where you can carry over your quotient to your next iterations. Okay, so finally I'm gonna return the sum value. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do, but one main thing what I'm missing here is I want, when do I need to perform this operation is up until when my remainder becomes 0, right? Sorry, when until my number value becomes 0. So I have to use a while loop here. While n is not equal to 0, I'm gonna perform this operation, right? So okay, so this is what I'm planning to do. So now let me run and see this. Yeah, now it return me the value 14. If I change any value over here, say if I change it to 6354, it will calculate me the sum of all digits. Okay, so this is one of the very efficient method, and if I'm an interviewer, I'm looking for this kind of solution by identifying the by how to calculate sum of all digits using modulo operation. Now let me try to place debug pointers here so that let's see in each and every step what's actually happening. So this is similar to the any previous example I showed you, but only difference is here you are calculating modulus. So 2 3 say, so the value is 6354 modulo 10 equal to 635. Sorry, remainder will be 4. After the first iteration, remainder will be 4, and after in the next iteration, uh, it will be 6 3 5 divided modulo 10. It will carry value 5. So how this quotient is carried is using this particular value. Okay, this particular line n divided by 10, using this particular line item, you are carrying out the quotient as well. Similarly, like 63 divided by 10 equal to 3, and finally uh, 3 sorry 6 modulo of n will give you 6. So finally you will sum up all the values. So this is how this particular method works. Probably you can place a debug pointer and see what's the value which is getting passed in each and every iteration. So in my first iteration it passed 4. In my second iteration it is summing up the value 5. 5. So 5 comma if you see the value of sum, after 2 iteration it become 9, and after third iteration it will become 12 because it is adding up last 3 digits. Finally here it's adding the value up to 18. Finally when the value of n becomes 0, it will come out of the loop. Okay, so this is how the sum of all digits is calculated using modulo operation in Python. Okay, now let's see the similar operation in Java as well. Okay, now I have my IntelliJ idea ready. Let's directly jump onto the solution. So here I have a main method here, and so I'm gonna go a little faster because it is something similar to the earlier problem we have discussed using modular operation. So int n equal to say some value. I'm giving something called 499, and also I'm gonna initialize the value of sum as usual. So some value will be 0, and the same I'm going to use the same while loop to make sure I'm going through the entire line item and entire value of n until the value becomes 0. So here and then while up to int, so int, so I'm going to calculate the remainder here, right? So remainder will be n modulo n, and so sum will be sum plus remainder. Okay, so this is how I'm planning to calculate, and finally so this is basically the last approach which I discussed in the Python programming as well. So I'm gonna go a little faster, divided by 10, and yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna print the value of sum at last, out dot print ln of sum. So I'm gonna print the value of the sum after the loop. Now if I run this program, what happens? Let me see. Yeah, now it calculated the sum of all digits. So 4 plus 9 plus 9 is 22. Now let me add another digit. So it should throw value 25. It's running, yeah. So now it calculated the sum of all digits. Okay, so this is how you can solve the sum of all digits using Java. Yeah, so yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. Hope you have liked it. If you have liked it, please subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos like this. Thank you.